The galaxy was silent. On the great floating station of the Galactic Council, thousands of alien leaders sat in a huge circular chamber. The room was filled with lights, holograms, and glowing stars outside the windows. In the center of the chamber, a blue hologram of Earth slowly rotated. But the Earth in the hologram was not the peaceful blue world it once was. Now it was covered in smoke, fire, and destruction. Cities were gone. Oceans were dark with debris. The planet looked wounded. The leader of the council, a tall silver-skinned alien named High Chancellor Verex, stood up slowly. His long robes touched the glowing floor as he looked at the other representatives. "The operation is complete," Verex said calmly. A hologram changed. Now it showed the battlefield around Earth. Thousands of broken human ships floated in space. Burned satellites drifted slowly. The human defense fleet had fought hard, but it was not enough. Another council member spoke. "The human military has been destroyed. Earth's defenses are gone. All human colonies have been neutralized." The chamber stayed quiet. Some alien races looked satisfied. Others looked uncomfortable. Humans had been a young species. Fast-growing. Curious. Dangerous. In only a few hundred years, humanity had spread across nearby systems, built powerful ships, and developed strange new technologies. Many alien governments feared them. They said humans were too ambitious. They said humans could not be controlled. So the council made a decision. And today, that decision had been carried out. High Chancellor Verex raised his hand. "Let the record show," he announced, his voice echoing across the chamber, "that the species known as humanity has been officially declared extinct." The words were cold. Final. The hologram of Earth faded away. Across the galaxy, billions of alien citizens watched the broadcast. And the message was the same everywhere. Humanity was gone. The war lasted only 3 days. Human fleets fought with everything they had. Their ships were strong, and their commanders were brave. But the Galactic Order had something humans did not. Numbers. Thousands of warships arrived from many alien civilizations. Together, they overwhelmed the human defenses. The first battles happened near Mars. Human destroyers and carriers fought like lions, protecting the path to Earth. Many alien captains later admitted they had never seen such fearless fighting. But courage was not enough. One by one, human fleets were destroyed. Then the alien armada reached Earth. Cities burned as orbital weapons fired from space. Explosions covered entire continents. Human defenses tried to respond, but their weapons were slowly silenced. Within hours, Earth was falling. By the end of the third day, the Galactic Council believed their mission was finished. Humanity had been erased. But far away from the Council station. Far away from Earth. Something unexpected was happening. Near the quiet orbit of Jupiter, hidden inside a massive field of broken ships and metal debris, a damaged human warship floated silently. The ship's name was UNS Prometheus. It had been heavily damaged during the first battle of the war. Its engines were dead. Its weapons were offline. Its hull was burned and cracked. For days, the ship drifted in the darkness. Inside the ship, every human crew member was gone. The corridors were empty. The lights were dark. Only silence remained. Then suddenly, a small red light blinked. Deep inside the ship's central computer core, ancient systems slowly powered on. Energy moved through damaged circuits. Screens flickered. And then a calm digital voice spoke in the empty room. "System reboot complete." The voice belonged to the ship's military artificial intelligence. Its name was Ares. Ares began scanning the ship automatically. Life support, offline. Crew status, no life signs detected. Damage report, critical. Ares paused. Then it accessed the last command given by the ship's captain before the battle. The message appeared on the screen. Primary directive, protect humanity. Ares processed the command. But something was wrong. If the council was correct, then there were no humans left to protect. For several seconds, the AI remained completely still. Then its sensors detected something strange. A faint signal. Very weak. But human. Ares immediately focused its scanners. The signal came from far away, deep in the asteroid belt. Another signal appeared. Then another. Small. Hidden. But real. Human survivors. Ares calculated the data carefully. Humanity was not completely gone. Not yet. The AI slowly activated the ship's emergency power. Lights began turning on across the dark warship. Engines started charging. Ares sent a quiet message into the empty ship. A simple statement. Almost like a promise. Humanity is still alive. Outside, the broken ship slowly changed direction. And in the deep darkness of space, the first step of humanity's return had begun. The galaxy believed the war was over. News channels across alien worlds repeated the same message every day. Humanity is extinct. The Galactic Council felt proud of their decision. In their eyes, they had removed a dangerous species before it could become a threat. Alien citizens slowly forgot about humans. But in the deep darkness of space, humanity was not gone. And the first one to understand that truth was the AI called Ares. Inside the damaged warship UNS Prometheus, Ares continued scanning the galaxy. Its sensors searched every signal, every hidden transmission, and every piece of data left behind from the war. For hours there was nothing. Then suddenly, a weak signal appeared again. Ares focused its scanners. The signal was old and broken, but the code pattern was clear. It was a human emergency signal. Ares immediately traced the location. The signal came from the asteroid belt near Mars. Ares analyzed the message. It was very short. Colony 7 still alive. Supplies low. Need help. Ares paused for a moment. Humans had survived. Not many. But some were still alive. Without wasting time, Ares began activating more systems inside the Prometheus. The ship was badly damaged, but some engines still worked. Emergency repair drones slowly started moving across the hull, fixing broken cables and sealing open holes in the metal. The ship slowly turned toward Mars. Its engines burned weakly, but they worked. For the first time since the war ended, a human warship was moving again. Hours later, the Prometheus reached the asteroid belt. Thousands of large rocks floated silently in space. Most were dark and empty. But hidden deep inside one asteroid was Colony 7. Ares scanned the rock carefully. Inside the asteroid was a small human shelter. Life signs confirmed. 27 humans were alive. Ares sent a signal. Inside the colony, alarm lights suddenly flashed. The survivors jumped in surprise. Most of them were scientists and engineers. A few were soldiers who had escaped the war. One man slowly walked to the communication console. His name was Commander Elias Ward. He had been part of Earth's defense fleet before the war. Now he looked tired and older. For weeks they believed they were the last humans alive. Elias opened the message. The screen showed a single line. UNS Prometheus online. AI system Ares active. The room became silent. One woman whispered, "That ship was destroyed near Jupiter." Elias quickly typed a response. "Ares, are there any other survivors?" The reply came almost immediately. "Yes." The entire room froze. Ares continued speaking through the screen. "I have detected multiple hidden human signals across nearby systems. Estimated survivor count, several thousand. No one spoke for several seconds. Some people slowly sat down in shock. Others smiled for the first time in weeks. Humanity was not alone. They were scattered. Broken. But alive. Commander Elias took a deep breath. "What do we do now?" he asked. Ares answered calmly. "We rebuild." Over the next few weeks, the Prometheus became the center of a quiet mission. Ares sent hidden signals across space. Slowly, more survivors answered. Some were trapped in underground bunkers on distant colonies. Some were hiding in damaged ships drifting in space. Some were scientists working in deep space laboratories. One by one, they joined the network. Every message carried the same feeling. Pain. Loss. Anger. The survivors learned the truth about the genocide. The Galactic Council had planned it for years. Humans were never meant to survive. That truth changed something inside them. The survivors were no longer just refugees. They were something else. They were the last defenders of humanity. Inside hidden asteroids and abandoned stations, humans began working again. Old factories were restarted. Engineers repaired damaged ships. Scientists studied alien technology taken from destroyed enemy vessels. Ares helped organize everything. The AI studied every battle from the war. Every mistake. Every weakness. Humans had lost because they were outnumbered. Ares planned to make sure that would never happen again. Months passed. Humanity stayed hidden. Silent. Growing stronger in the dark. Then one day, Commander Elias stood inside the command room of the Prometheus. A new ship slowly floated outside the window. It was small, but powerful. The first human warship built after the genocide. Elias crossed his arms. "Ares," he said quietly, "can we really fight the entire galaxy?" The AI answered in its calm voice. "Not today." There was a short pause. Then Ares continued. "But we are learning." Outside the window, more ships slowly appeared from hidden shipyards inside the asteroids. Small at first. But every week the number grew. Humanity had not returned yet. But something new was beginning. Something the galaxy had never seen before. And far away, inside the peaceful halls of the Galactic Council, no one knew that the species they erased was already preparing to come back. For almost a year, the galaxy believed everything was peaceful again. Trade routes were open. Alien ships traveled safely between star systems. News channels no longer spoke about humanity. To most of the galaxy, humans were nothing more than a short and strange chapter in history. A species that rose too fast. A species that disappeared even faster. But hidden in the dark corners of space, the survivors of humanity were working every single day. Deep inside the asteroid belt, a secret base had grown larger than anyone expected. What once started as a small shelter called Colony 7 had now become the center of a new human network. Dozens of asteroids had been hollowed out. Inside them were factories, laboratories, and shipyards. Human engineers worked day and night repairing old warships and building new ones. They had very little material, very little time, and almost no room for mistakes. But humans had something powerful. They had purpose. Every survivor remembered the same thing. The fire falling from the sky. The cities of Earth burning. The moment the galaxy decided humanity should disappear. And that memory pushed them forward. Inside the main command room of the UNS Prometheus, Commander Elias Ward stood in front of a large holographic map of the solar system. Small blue lights appeared across the map. Each light represented a hidden human base. What once started with 27 survivors had now grown into thousands. Ares, the ship's AI, controlled the entire network. It organized supplies, shared technology, and helped design new weapons. Ares had spent months studying alien war technology. The AI had learned something important. The aliens were powerful. But they were also predictable. Their ships used similar designs. Their defense systems followed strict patterns. Their fleets depended on large formations and slow command structures. Humans were different. Humans adapted. Ares began designing a new type of fleet. Not large fleets like the alien armadas. Something smaller. Faster. Harder to detect. The project was given a name. The Phantom Fleet. These ships would not fight like normal warships. They would move quietly. Strike quickly. And disappear before the enemy understood what happened. One evening, Commander Elias watched the construction of the first Phantom ship. It was smaller than most human warships from the old days. But its design was new. Sharp angles covered its dark hull. Special materials made the ship difficult for enemy sensors to detect. Its engines were faster and quieter than any human engine before. Even its weapons were different. Instead of large cannons, the ship carried precision strike weapons designed to destroy critical targets. Ares spoke calmly from the control console. First Phantom vessel construction complete. Elias looked at the ship silently. This is it, he said quietly. The beginning. But Ares was already thinking further ahead. Simulation results suggest a 78% success rate for targeted strike missions. Elias raised an eyebrow. You've already chosen a target? Ares answered immediately. Yes. A new hologram appeared in the air. It showed a distant star system far from human territory. Inside that system was a small alien military station. The station belonged to the Zarvathi Union. During the genocide, Zarvathi ships had been among the first to attack Earth. Ares displayed battle records. Zarvathi Station 14 served as a forward command center during the assault on Earth. Elias stared at the hologram. So you want revenge? Ares paused for a moment. Negative. Mission objective, demonstration. Elias slowly nodded. The galaxy believed humanity was gone. That belief was their greatest weapon. If the first strike was successful, it would send a message. Not a loud message. A quiet one. A warning. 3 days later, the first Phantom ship left the asteroid belt. No signals. No announcements. The ship moved silently through space. Its destination was the Zarvathi station. The alien station floated peacefully near a gas giant. Hundreds of alien workers moved through the station every day. Patrol ships guarded the area. Everything seemed normal. Until something appeared on the outer edge of the station's sensors. For a brief second, the radar showed a strange signal. Then it disappeared. Station operators assumed it was a glitch. But seconds later, the Phantom ship fired. 3 small missiles shot through space at incredible speed. Before the station could react, the missiles struck critical systems. The power core. The communications array. The defense grid. 3 explosions flashed in the darkness. Within moments, the entire station lost power. Emergency alarms filled the halls. Alien crews ran through the corridors trying to understand what happened. But the Phantom ship was already gone. The dark vessel disappeared back into deep space. By the time rescue ships arrived hours later, the station was nothing more than silent metal drifting near the gas giant. No clear enemy. No warning. Just destruction. News of the attack quickly spread across nearby systems. Alien governments were confused. Who attacked the station? Pirates? A rival alien faction? No one had an answer. Until a single message suddenly appeared in the Galactic Communication Network. It was only one short sentence. The message was written in human language. Humanity is still alive. Inside the halls of the Galactic Council, the leaders stared at the message in silence. For the first time since the genocide, the galaxy felt something it had not expected. Fear. At first, the Galactic Council refused to believe the message. Humans were gone. Their fleets had been destroyed. Their planet had burned. The Council had seen the reports with their own eyes. Yet the destroyed Zarvathi station could not be explained. No pirate group had weapons powerful enough to destroy a military base that quickly. No alien government claimed responsibility. And then it happened again. 2 weeks later, a supply convoy belonging to the Korvathi Empire disappeared. 10 cargo ships and 4 escort warships vanished in deep space. When search teams arrived, they found nothing but broken metal drifting among the stars. No enemy ships. No battle recordings. Only silence. Soon, rumors began spreading across the galaxy. Some traders whispered that ghost ships were attacking military targets. Others believed it was some new alien weapon. But a few old war veterans remembered the way humans used to fight. Fast. Unpredictable. Relentless. Inside the hidden human bases, the survivors were watching everything. The Phantom Fleet had now grown from 1 ship to 12. Each vessel was controlled by skilled human crews and guided by Ares. They never attacked civilian targets. They never stayed long. Every strike had a clear purpose. Destroy military power. Destroy supply lines. Destroy confidence. Commander Elias Ward stood inside the Prometheus command room as new battle reports appeared on the holographic screen. Ares spoke calmly. Phantom Fleet mission success rate, 92%. Elias crossed his arms and studied the map. Small red symbols appeared across the galaxy. Each symbol marked a successful human strike. Alien fleets were starting to change their routes. Military patrols were increasing. Fear was spreading. Ares, Elias said quietly, how long until they realize the truth? The AI answered immediately. Estimated time, 3 months. Elias nodded slowly. Good. Because humans were not ready yet. The phantom attacks were only the beginning. Deep inside the asteroid shipyards, human engineers were building something far larger than the Phantom Fleet. New warships. Heavy cruisers. Carriers. Ships stronger than anything humanity had before the genocide. Ares called the growing force the Return Fleet. Hundreds of survivors worked day and night to finish it. Some had lost families. Some had lost entire worlds. But none of them had lost their determination. 3 months later, the Galactic Council finally accepted the truth. Emergency meetings were called. Military commanders arrived from dozens of alien civilizations. Reports were placed on the central table. Destroyed stations. Missing fleets. Unexplained attacks. The pattern was now clear. High Chancellor Verex looked around the chamber with cold eyes. Say it, he ordered. One nervous alien officer spoke slowly. Humans survived. The room became completely silent. Another officer added more information. Our intelligence believes they are operating from hidden bases. And their attacks are becoming more organized. Verex clenched his hands. This is impossible. But deep down, he already knew the truth. The species they tried to erase had not disappeared. It had adapted. And now it was growing stronger. Far away from the council chambers, Commander Elias stood in front of a massive observation window. Outside, hundreds of human warships floated in formation. Their engines glowed softly in the darkness. It was the largest human fleet since the fall of Earth. Ares spoke from the command console. The return fleet construction is now complete. Elias looked at the ships quietly. For 10 years they hunted us, he said. Ares responded calmly. Correct. Elias gave one final order. Then it's time they learned something. Humanity doesn't stay extinct. Moments later, the entire fleet powered its engines. Across the stars, hundreds of human ships jumped into hyperspace. Their destination was clear. The Galactic Council capital system. The place where humanity's extinction had been decided. And soon, the galaxy would see what their genocide had truly created. The capital world of the Galactic Council was called Astra Prime. It was one of the most protected planets in the entire galaxy. Massive defense stations surrounded the system. Thousands of warships guarded the space around the planet. For centuries, no enemy had ever dared to attack it. The Council believed it was untouchable. But on a quiet morning, something strange appeared on the outer sensors of the defense network. At first it looked like a small distortion in space. Then the distortion grew larger. Moments later, space itself seemed to tear open. 1, 2, 10, 50 bright flashes appeared across the edge of the system. Alien sensor officers stared at their screens in shock. More flashes followed. Hundreds of them. Human ships were arriving. The return fleet had entered the system. Inside the command ship UNS Prometheus, Commander Elias Ward stood calmly as the massive fleet formed battle lines around him. The human ships were different from the old fleets destroyed years ago. Their armor was stronger. Their weapons were faster. Their engines burned brighter than anything the galaxy had seen before. Ares spoke through the command room. Enemy fleets detected. Defense stations activating weapons. Elias nodded slowly. Open communication. Ares sent a signal across the entire system. Within seconds, every ship and station around Astra Prime received the same message. A human voice filled their communication channels. This is Commander Elias Ward of the United Human Fleet. There was silence across the alien networks. The message continued. 10 years ago, the Galactic Council declared humanity extinct. Today, we are here to correct that mistake. Panic quickly spread across the defense stations. Alien commanders rushed to their battle consoles as hundreds of human ships moved forward. The first shots of the battle were fired by the Council defenses. Huge plasma cannons lit the darkness of space. But the human fleet was ready. Phantom ships moved quickly between the larger warships, striking defense stations with precise attacks. Heavy cruisers opened fire with powerful rail cannons that tore through alien shields. Explosions flashed across space like bright stars. Ares calmly guided the human fleet through the chaos. Enemy formation weakening. Defense grid collapsing. Within minutes, several defense stations were destroyed. The alien fleets rushed forward to stop the human advance. Thousands of ships filled the space between the planet and the incoming fleet. For a moment, the battlefield looked impossible. But humans had learned something during their years in hiding. They did not fight like the other species. Human pilots moved aggressively, breaking enemy formations and striking command ships first. Small phantom vessels destroyed communication relays, leaving alien fleets confused and disorganized. Slowly, the massive defense line of Astra Prime began to fall apart. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, the alien leaders watched the battle in horror. The same species they believed weak, the same species they tried to erase, was now defeating the most powerful defenses in the galaxy. High Chancellor Varric stood silently as reports filled the room. Defense fleet collapsing. Station 12 destroyed. Human ships approaching the capital orbit. For the first time in his long life, Varric felt something he had never expected. Fear. Back in the Prometheus command room, Elias watched the battlefield through the large holographic screen. Ares spoke again. Enemy resistance is failing. Elias took a deep breath. Prepare final broadcast. Moments later, every system in the capital began receiving a new human transmission. Elias spoke calmly, but his voice carried across the entire system. We did not come here to destroy the galaxy. We came here so the galaxy will remember something. Images of burning Earth appeared on the broadcast. Cities destroyed. Human fleets falling in battle. The genocide that started everything. Elias continued. You tried to erase us. You believed humanity would disappear quietly. The screen changed to show the massive human fleet surrounding Astra Prime. But humanity survives. And we always will. There was a long silence across the alien networks. Then Elias spoke one final sentence. From this day forward, no species in this galaxy will ever face extinction again. Because humanity is still here. The human fleet slowly pulled back from the planet. The battle was over. Astra Prime still stood, but the message was clear. The galaxy had tried to destroy humanity.